Hello, I'm Kads, and welcome to today's video. So once again, the portal is a light, and that means it is once again time to pull some shards. The SMA the Dancer Fragment Summon is in full swing, and that is of course our reason for pulling today as part of the Dancer's path. So you can see here that I've accumulated over 12,000 points by the Dungeon Divers aspect of it, as you can see here, but the primary mode of gaining points, as we talked about in my free-to-play review of the Dancer's Path, is that you're going to have to be pulling some shards, and we are going to be doing that today. As I mentioned in that video, my goal is going to be to get 15 of the total 25 fragments up for grabs. That's how much I need to actually complete the fusion, because I did skip the latter milestone of the first dungeon, or the only Dungeon Divers event. Just that 5 was just felt a little bit like too much of an investment in terms of gems and energy to go out there. So I elected to get the extra 5 from this path here. So I'm gonna have to come down the left hand side and the right hand side to get both of the keys, and then I'll end right here at this node for a grand total of 15 fragments. So thankfully, because of the 12,000 points I've accumulated from that Dungeon Divers part, that means that I only have to pull 6 sacreds. On paper it would have been upwards of 9 sacreds, but we were effectively given one for free with the Valentine's Day gift, so that was about 4,500 points, or 1 sacred's worth, and then the rest of it was just earned through Dungeon Divers, and so I only have to pull 6 of my sacreds to get the amount of points required to get the 15 fragments. Popping over to the portal, let's take a look at the overall shard count on the account at the moment. 670 on the Ancients, 236 on the Voids, 71 on the Primals, and 66 on the Sacreds, which of course we'll be dipping into today. There is also a progressive chance events going on right now, and you can see that my selection at the moment is Sissia Flametongue. I happen to not have her, and that's kind of why she's a little bit higher of a priority, but I think Rhodos is definitely tempting, but I already have 3 copies of him. Obviously, banking more for future empowerment would be nice, and or Faction Guardians in the meantime, but I'm opting to go for the more unique shot at the champion versus trying to bank on getting a duplicate of a champion I already have. That being said, hitting this is relatively unlikely with the current amount of legendaries in the summoning pool. It's around a 7% chance for a 15x that it's actually going to be the champion who you pick from the legendary slots here. And that is of course if we get a legendary at all. So if we pop up the Mercy tracker here on the screen, which will be linked in the description box down below if you'd like to check it out for yourself or have a copy of it for yourself, you can see that we're focusing on the sacred row here. So I'm 7 sacreds towards Mercy, meaning we are 5 away. So the 6 sacreds we're going to be pulling today will get us into Mercy, but that still does not guarantee that we're going to get a legendary at all today. So we are prepared for that outcome. Doesn't really matter. I'm not really hoping for anything, looking for anything, but if we do happen to get a legendary, cool. If it's Sissia, even better, but it could be basically anyone, and I'm kind of okay with that because we're just doing this for the sake of the fusion. And of course, realistically, we're going to get a decent amount of epics along the way here, so any good duplicates for empowerment will be useful as well. So without further ado, let's get right into the shards pools. We've got tons of space, we've got a decent amount of cash, and hopefully we can get some pretty, actually, you know what? Let's shoot for below average luck. As I kind of mentioned before, we're not really expecting anything crazy from this session. The goal is just to get the fragments from or for the fusion. So Visionary, very underwhelming champion, but she does have like a decreased crit damage, decreased crit rate, and then the inverse on this ability with a turn meter fill. She's kind of okay as an epic, maybe like a Faction Wars champion, but yeah, I tried to use her once in like the Cursed City and she ended up not helping in that stage, so make of that what you will. Fenax, one of my favorite, if not my most favorite epic nuker with the super awesome double hitter potential, block revive A1, super hard hitting, one of the hardest hitting A1s in the game, super fun. Mine is fully empowered at +4, so this is kind of a wasted slot, but maybe it's just a chicken for the future, or maybe I can move some Faction Guardians around. We'll kind of see about that. Ashima, her only purpose from my understanding is that she is a Lady Mikage epic. Not much to say about her, but hopefully if you're still working on your Mikage, hopefully you pull her as well. Melga Steel Girl, definitely like the epitome of a Faction Wars champion. You got some healing and a shield, and then a 2-person revive here with a little bit of turn meter, a little bit of health, and then yeah, it's not that great, but you know, dwarves can be pretty tough depending on who you have on your squad, so she could definitely come into play there. 2 more sacreds to go, all epic so far as to be expected. Another epic. Romero, I've heard people think he's decent after the buff with the like the continuous heals and stealing buffs, then the shield, increased defense and whatnot. I don't know. I'm not convinced, but I've heard he's better and decent, but yeah, yeah, I've never used them, so make of that what you will once again. And the last sacred for today is going to be Kalia, who I think has heal reduction, so maybe she's good for like Amius if you're really struggling for that, but I don't really think she sees play outside of that. So I believe that is exactly what we needed to do. So let's hop on over to the path to confirm, and yes, we have 39,000 points, which is exactly what I needed in order to get the 15 fragments. So let's go ahead and I guess I think I need the rarity charms more. Nope, it was the rank charms. So we'll grab the rank charms. We'll grab all of this stuff here on the left hand side. I do need more epic chaos ore, and the dust is also good. I've been re-rolling a lot of gear recently. Make sure to grab the key. Then we duplicate it here on the right hand side. Soul coins are always nice. It's good for our essence for souls and whatnot, if you're still interested in buying those. And then of course the ender here is the 3,000. There we go, 15 fragments, all done. So summon rush, or the effective summon rush, is complete. Only 6 sacreds worth, so pretty quick, pretty clean, and that is exactly what we needed to do. There are a decent amount of other goodies here, but you know, I have a decent amount of legendary tomes, and I have a good amount currently of mythical tomes. I don't really need anything else, but I could definitely see the temptation of trying to go for more of these events. But yeah, the souls to me are not that useful. I have no plans to use Esme the Dancer at all my account, so the 5-star soul is not really worth the investment on my part, but I definitely have the shards to go for it if I so chose. So yeah, there you have it. That's going to do it for today's shard pull session. Not much happened. We pulled 6 sacreds, we got 6 epics, which is kind of expected. There's no 2x going on right now, so this is exactly how you'd anticipate it to be. If there happens to be a sacred pogo in the near term, I don't think that's going to happen in the next week, but I do predict that, or I predicted that the champion chase associated with the fusion is going to be 2x sacreds. It'll be confirmed whether or not that is true later on this week. But my goal is to do a shardless summon for the champion chase, so stay tuned for that if you're keen to see how I'll pull that off. But we might be able to preserve my mercy here for the sacred shards and wait for the next pogo event before we pull sacreds. That way we can get 2 legendaries instead of 1. Be sure to let me know in the comment section down below if you are pulling your shards this weekend as part of the summon rush aspect of the Dancer's Path, and let me know if you got anything amazing and hopefully something better than a bunch of epics like myself. As always, if you did enjoy the video, then be sure to hit that like button down below. It really does help out the channel, and if you are enjoying the content overall on the channel, then feel free to hit that subscribe button down below as well. Thanks for watching, and have a good one.